Well, hello, my friends. I'm Erin. Hi, Erin Power, women's weight loss nutritionist. I developed a weight loss protocol 15 years ago that resolves metabolic dysfunction, the stuff where your body stops using fuel the way it used to. This just happens as a consequence of the passage of time and a little bit of diet mismanagement, which is really common for women because we don't know how to eat. But I can teach you. But you have to want to do it. And that's what today's talk is all about. Things don't resolve themselves. And if you wait for them to resolve themselves, they actually probably just get worse. And this, I'll start Monday, I'll start when life calms down, I'll start later after Christmas, after Easter, after summer. This perspective that's really common in dieting and weight loss, it's not neutral. It's not neutral to say, I'll wait until. It is actively making the problem worse. Doing nothing is doing something. Delay equals drift. Your health struggles, the fatigue, the low energy, the weight gain, it compounds quietly while you wait for circumstances to magically improve. There's no neutral decision making when it comes time to resolving the issues with your health. You have to stop the problematic issue and start to resolve it. And that takes action. And the sooner you do it, the sooner it gets better. This conversation is actually very front of mind for me because I had an extremely frustrating conversation last week with a woman who booked a consultation with me in my calendar. She absolutely needs help. She doesn't know what to do. Now, listen, you might not need help. You might be able to figure out how to eat for weight loss on your own. I believe you. I believe you could. There's enough information out there that if you were really, really particular, you could figure out a method that met all the criteria needed for sustainable weight loss. But the people who get on the phone with me at some point have said, I don't know what to do. I just need some help. Can you help me? And I can. That's what I do. I go through the discovery with her, the exploration, curiosity oriented questions to find out what's going on with her. Is she going to be a good fit for my program? Does she have the specific problem that I can help solve? And she did. She was a good candidate. So we got to the point of talking about the parameters of the program. And the thing is, the parameters of any change you want to make is that you're going to have to change. If you're watching this on video, I have a sign that is strategically placed behind my shoulder that says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Subliminal messaging. A lot has to change if you want to change. So we got to the sort of prescription part of the conversation where I said, well, here's what I think you need, and here's what would help you, and here's what we're going to do together, and here's where you come in because I'm not the boss of you. We have to work in partnership on this, and you have to meet me in the middle. You have to want to do it. It has to be important enough, and you have to actually do it. Like, you have to do it. I mean, I could offer a white glove service where I come live in your house and make the meals and put you to bed and take you for walks. It'd be very expensive, but I'll do it. Hit me up if you want that. So I get to this point of the conversation and she basically said, no. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I don't want to do that either. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I just didn't want to change. So if you don't want to do the changes, then don't come looking for change because you have to make the change if you want the change. So I got really thinking about this because honestly, this comes up many times. I always think the person who books the call in my calendar has hit some kind of low point in their own health journey where they are curious about getting some help. They're curious about getting some help. And I want to nurture that curiosity and give you some hope. And when that is met with defiance, kind of almost petulance, like, no, I'm not, I don't want to change the way I eat. I don't want to show up for a coaching call. What? This sounds too time consuming. I'm way too busy. This was her problem, is that she was too busy. I said, oh, you mean to tell me that you have no time in your day to feed yourself, take care of your body, do the basics of quote unquote self-care, which is like eating, moving, sleeping. You don't have any time for that? She said, I think I have 20 minutes every day at like 5 a.m. That's the problem. That's not going to work. Are you willing to change that? And she said, I can't. This is just my life. You can change that. You absolutely can change that. If you don't want to, then you're going to convince yourself that you can't do it. But then we get into this parameter of waiting until life slows down. And life is never going to do that. Life is literally never going to calm down. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I think we know this on some level. I think you've been waiting for life to calm down for many decades. And it's just getting busier and busier. And remember when you were in your 20s, how much spare time you had? Oh my God. I worked 3 jobs in my 20s and I still had tons of time. Oh, I could stay up late. I would go partying. I had so much time, even though I was working my butt off. I was a hardworking little kid. Nothing has calmed down since then. Maybe when I'm retired. I don't know when I'm going to retire. 70? I don't know. In this economy, ever? When is life going to calm down? If we're waiting for that, it's never happening. So then we have to reconcile, well, I guess I'm stuck in this body that is only going to get probably worse over time. Because when we start this snowball effect of metabolic dysfunction, which happens for women right around their late 30s, and we blame it on turning 40, we blame it on menopause, it keeps going. It doesn't magically stop. Unless you do something to stop it, you have to step in and do something, you have to change something. If you've decided that you're too busy right now and you're going to wait till life comes down, that's fine. But that tells me that you're not going to do anything because life will never calm down. So then you have to be okay with the fact that the problem that you're experiencing will probably get worse. And I'm not saying that to be fatalistic. I'm saying that because I would like us all to stop using the grind as a rationale for not taking care of ourselves. Okay, you're busy, you're hustling, you got this list that's a mile long. Is your name on there at all? Could you put your name on there, preferably in the top 5? Because you already know you can't pour from an empty cup. A phrase I've never said before, and I hope I never say it again, but you already know that. Everyone is too busy. Everyone's too busy, but not everyone struggles with their weight and health. Do you know other busy people who aren't struggling with their weight and health? There are busy and stressed out people who are also managing their weight and health. They're not genetically luckier than you. They just made a different choice. They just put themselves on their own priority list. By the way, when I say you, I'm not talking about you individually, but if this is resonating with you, then maybe I am. But this is just objective facts. Busy and stressful does not equal fat and sick. There are lots and lots of busy and stressed out people who are maintaining their health, who are still putting in the effort. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. You have to have that come to Jesus. Is this important enough to me? Do I even want to do this? If you don't, great. That's great information. If it's not important enough to you to put yourself on your to-do list, awesome information. Good to know. Then you can quit spinning your wheels and just keep doing what you're doing. If you decide, you know what, this is very important because I know that this just gets worse. I'm watching my mom and my aunt's age or whatever the light bulb moment is. And I mentioned that one because that seems to be one of the more common ones I'm hearing on the phone with people is, I just watched my mom become a frail, squishy old lady with brittle bones and she's still dieting miraculously, strangely. Whatever the reason is, you have to decide that the pain of staying stuck where you are now, the discomfort of change is worth it. The pain of staying stuck is more painful than the pain of change. And not everybody's at that point, and that's so fine. It's so okay. Like the woman I spoke to, she wasn't at that point. She's like, oh, this is no big deal. I'm not going to change. No. Bye. And we hung up. The conversation ended and nothing is happening. I don't know what she's going to do. She's on her own. But she did say, you might hear from me again. And I said, chances are good that I will. Everyone's too busy, but not everyone is struggling. I've had lots of clients, for example, who were nurses. So they work odd hours and they'll say, I'm a nurse. I can't just eat lunch when I want to. I'm at the mercy of my work schedule. Therefore, nothing will work for me. Okay, well, look around. Is every nurse struggling with their weight and health? Or are there some nurses that are managing to make it work? If some nurses can make it work, then all nurses could make it work. You have to just learn how. Oh, I'm a school teacher. I get this time of day to eat and this time of day to eat, and my schedule's weird. Are all school teachers unhealthy and overweight? No, some school teachers are at a healthy weight and they manage to prioritize their feeding and nutrition. It can be done. I just put this out there because there's the way we feel about truth and then there's objective truth. And objective truth is a very good clarifying tool because our subjective truth is always going to take our side. It's too hard for me because I have this going on. So therefore, I'm struggling and no one struggles like me. Yeah, people do. And some people struggle their whole lives and some people pull themselves out of the struggle. Which one's it going to be? And when? Are you going to pull yourself out of the struggle later When things calm down, or when you've now gotten maybe a metabolic disease diagnosis, or now you've noticed that you've changed and you're aging rapidly. I don't want to sound doomsday, but I am a little bit because I'm pushing 50. And I'm sorry, this is so dark, but I now realize that I've lived more years than I probably have ahead of me. I better put the pedal to the metal. This whole busy BS, I got to do something about this because I have a life to live still. And I want to live in a healthy body that works so I can feel great and I can get on airplanes and climb up Mayan ruins and swim in warm seas and not need a wheelchair to get around the airport, hopefully until I'm maybe 90. I want all that. I want that life, right? Continuing to back burner myself would rob me of that. And I don't want that for me or you. So that's where this is coming from. Sometimes people will say the reason why they haven't started or can't get started or keep going, because the thing is you have to get started and then you have to keep going. Those are two different kinds of energy. An ignition and then there's an inertia. I don't know. Your girl's not a physicist. I don't know what I'm talking about, but just go with me on the metaphors here. It's like we're waiting to feel motivated, or I just don't feel motivated. Like, why don't I feel motivated? Lots of wellness biohacker bros have articulated this better than I will because I'm so not a biohacker bro. But motivation doesn't come. You don't get motivated. It's not coming for you. Like if we're going to wait until motivation comes, it's never happening. The way you get motivated is by acting and feeling inspired by your own action. Motivation is like an inspiration. I'm inspired by me. Look, I took the first step. I did the first thing. I did one day. During lockdowns, I started a walking habit that persists to this day. I didn't have a walking habit, and now I do. And here's literally how I started it. One of the days of lockdowns, I'm trying to do these dumb at-home workouts. I hate working out at home. I love working out at the gym. Honestly, the gym closes down, so I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. You know what I should do? I just go for a walk. I'm just going to go for a walk. This is March of 2020. It's kind of still winter where I live. Wet and cold and dreary. I take my ass out for a walk and it was fine. And going for that walk, I didn't lose weight. I didn't get immediately healthy. I just went for one walk. That was it. That was my plan. My plan was to go for one walk. And it felt great. I listened to a podcast. I wore my raincoat. I survived walking in the rain. And the next day, I went for one walk. And then the next day, I went for one walk. I was just doing it in the moment. Like, today, I'm going for a walk. It was no bold declaration like, I'm going to start a walking habit. I am going to get motivated to start walking. No, I just started walking. And then that felt good. And I was enjoying taking a break from work because I don't know about you, but during lockdowns, I just worked way harder. I got to push away from my desk, have this nervous system moment. I spent more time with my dog. It felt good. Like I could objectively see that I liked it. So that then motivated me. My action motivated me. It wasn't, I wait for motivation to take action. I take action and then I'm motivated by my own action. The ignition has to be doing one thing, taking an action, starting. Ignition equals starting. Ignite, start, go, do, be, execute. Then in execution, you'll feel that sense of accomplishment, and that's highly motivating. People always say, I'm motivated by results. Love to hear that. What do you mean by that? Is it as long as the scale is going down, I'll keep doing it? Or could you reframe results? I feel great. I slept better. When I went for those walks, I felt less stressed out by all of it. I was managing my nervous system state better. I was sleeping better. I wasn't losing weight, but I was motivated by other things to keep doing it. So definitely reframe motivation and results and the motivation you get from results, and understand that motivation is not a thing that starts you. The motivation will keep you going, but you have to start. The starting is all on you. And you can start now or you can start later. It doesn't matter. But the sooner you start, the better. Because later, things have gotten worse. It's now harder. It's harder to start. You know, there's that old Chinese proverb. I'm probably misattributing it to the Chinese. But the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is right now. You've heard. And if this sounds bossy, it's because I want it to sound bossy. I would like you to do something. Because I just know that time is moving very quickly. The years are passing quicker than ever. Again, sorry, dreary topic. But I wouldn't want you to look back a year from now and say, man, a year ago, Erin told me to start today and I didn't. Now I'm a little year older and a year maybe fatter and a year sicker and more tired. Now it's going to be a little harder to get started. It's just going to get harder. This woman I spoke to, whenever she does come back to me, we have a bigger hill now to get over. If we had started last week when she was on the phone with me, we already would be on the way to getting results. But now we're nowhere near. We're going the opposite direction. Now, I do want to pause to validate that you're like, yeah, I'm cool. I want to start now, but what do I do? This is so real. If that's what you're feeling, like, great, I'm in, but what? Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to fast? Am I not supposed to fast? Can I have coffee before I exercise, or is my cortisol too high? Validating that the industry is very confusing. And if you have a health or weight loss goal, which is the space I play in, women's health and weight loss, metabolic health and weight loss is the space I play in. That's all I know. So like, I'm not here for your postpartum, or if you're a endurance runner and you want to get a PR in your triathlon. I don't know any about that shit. I don't touch it. But if you're a woman, a regular normal woman, you want to improve your metabolic health, which is things like blood sugar control, blood lipids, body fat, energy, mood, I got you. That's all I talk about. And that section of Instagram or whatever social platform you scroll on is super overwhelming. So validating that you don't know where to start. Well, I have an easy approach that can help you get started, and I've given it away for free everywhere. But let me just reiterate it to you again. Start with breakfast. Eat breakfast. Eat a massive, robust breakfast when you feel your first hunger of the day. Make that a meal full of protein food. Then watch your snack habits change. Watch your cravings disappear. Watch your energy level out. You sleep better. Everything improves with just that one step. Start with an epic breakfast. There you go. There's a little freebie for you. But the point is, there are lots of ways to start. The narrative is overwhelming. On some level, I do think you do know where you need to start. I just told you to eat a protein-forward breakfast. You're like, protein. I think I've heard that somewhere before. Yeah, you know that. Oh, sleep. She said sleep. I know I'm supposed to sleep better. She talked about walking a minute ago. Should I be walking? You already know. Eat protein, take walks, go to sleep. If you did those things starting today, not when life gets easier, because it's not going to, start today. Start today. And tell me what you're going to do today. I want to know. What are you going to do today to make this move so that you can take the first action and then the next action, and then somewhere down the line start to feel motivated by the action you took, like the boss you are. And by the way, quit frustrating yourself, because yes, the industry is frustrating, but you're frustrating yourself by jumping and jumping from thing to thing and being influenced. Influence is very convincing. People who influence for a living are real good at it. They're masters of marketing, masters of advertising psychology, but you're playing a role in that too. You're in the dance. The influencer is influencing the influenced, and that's you and me and all of us. We're the health consumer. We are the target audience. So what if you stop being so influenced? Stop looking for the fastest or the cheapest or the deal or the hack. It's going to keep convincing you that nothing works. Tried that, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. Now you're manifesting shit that doesn't work. You're just self-fulfilling this prophecy. Like, nothing works. We tried all these cheap, dumb things. Try something rich and meaningful. Change your actual life. Change the health inputs of your life. Food, movement, stress, sleep, meaningful things that you don't get out of a pill bottle or an injectable pen from the pharmacy. You don't need blood tests. You don't need peptides. You need to do these basics. And then quit jumping to new things, because that is frustrating, but you're playing a role in your own frustration. Lean into investing time and energy and maybe even some money to get it solved and then out of the way. The amount of money it costs to work with somebody like me, a weight loss nutritionist, or a personal trainer, or a functional medicine doctor to help you get your hormones under control, it's about as much as you'll spend on a week's vacation. Yeah. Because I know how much I charge. I know how much my personal trainer charges. I know how much my functional medicine doctor charges. We all charge the same. It's the going rate. It's the industry rate. It's the same as a week's vacation. You're going to go to Mexico to an all-inclusive resort, have a nice time for a week. You'll forget all about it. By next year, it's gone. You won't remember. It's not going to be a lifelong memory. You'll spend that money so fast. You will spend it. As soon as somebody says to you, as soon as the personal trainer says to you, here's the investment to work together for a year so you can build lean body mass and improve your metabolic health, you'll say, ooh, that's expensive. It's money you're going to spend. You're going to spend that money. You are at Amazon, at Target, on the all-inclusive resort vacation. You're going to spend it. Vacations are awesome. MacBooks are awesome. Having lifelong health in the second half, the whole second half of your life is awesomer. And you are going to spend the money and you're going to spend the time and you're going to spend the energy on something. Time is actually the most expensive currency we have. You'll earn more money, but you're not going to earn more time. Time is, well, we just lost 20 minutes of it here. So we're never getting that back. Something to think about. I'm not a tough love person, but I want to acknowledge that this sounded tough. But it's September that I'm recording this. And I know it's a cliche, but we are rounding out another calendar year. How'd that go? Did you make a move in the right direction or the wrong direction? How do you feel about directionally how this calendar year went? How would you feel about starting today to finish this calendar year, start the next calendar year ahead of the game where you are now? The only way you're going to get ahead is by stopping what you're doing and starting something new, something different. I know you're confused what that is, but the basics have always been the basics, and I believe you know what they are. Sleep, stress, food, movement. That's all you need. Lean toward a paleo-Mediterranean whole foods diet, get adequate protein, put yourself to bed by 10 p.m., take a walk, 15 minutes, once or twice a day. Could you do that today? Could you do one of those things today? Start today. Start right now. Don't wait for things to get easier. Don't wait for things to get better. Don't wait for your paycheck to come. You got to just start. I'm just worried about all the waiting I'm seeing. Waiting's not going to work. Working works. Waiting doesn't work. Things don't resolve themselves. You have to do something. I wish somebody had given me this talk when I was in my 30s. I got fat and sick in my 30s. Maybe you did too, because many women that I speak to, this all started going south for them in their late 30s. I wish somebody had said to me, hey, don't wait. Get a handle on this now. I probably could have saved myself a lot of struggle. I mean, I gained 40 pounds of abdominal fat. Once I started noticing it wasn't working, I should have changed in that exact moment. But I persisted. I was waiting for it to get better, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse until I said, I don't think I can let this get any worse. I don't want it to get any worse. This is the lowest point I want to get to. I'm changing right now. And I did. But, part of me thinks, what if I change even sooner and I didn't have to gain the weight in the first place and have that sense of feeling desperate and ugly and unattractive and tired and sick and all the feelings I had. Those feelings were so shitty. Never mind that my clothes weren't fitting. That was one of my least motivating reasons for change. The main reason I changed is because I didn't feel like myself. It wasn't me. I was energetically not me, mood-wise not me. I was not living the life I wanted to be living. That's why I changed. And the fat loss came as a side effect of making the changes, improving my health, changing my inputs that were not working anymore, objectively not working. When your body shows you something, whether it's slow weight gain, slowly outgrowing your wardrobe, that's a signal from your body. And it was trying to get your attention months or years ago. And if you, like me, didn't notice until it was quite too late, like I'd already put on 4 pant sizes, whenever you notice it, whenever it feels like, ooh, I got to change this, change it right in that moment. Do not wait. I think now's a great time to take action. I just want you to take action now. If you feel inspired to do so, now's the time.